day, thousands of students grab a meal on campus. Some go for a quick sandwich, others sit down for a warm plate of pasta or a burger. But what if the food we eat here wasn't just about taste or convenience? What if it was part of something bigger? By 2030, our university is aiming for a bold transformation. 80% of the food on campus will be plant-based, aligning with the Planetary Health Diet, a global effort to make food more sustainable, healthier, and better for the planet. But can the university cafeteria go mostly plant-based and still keep everyone happy? Will students embrace the change or will they resist? And what about taste, culture, and tradition? In this documentary, we take a deep dive into the future of food on campus. We talk to students, teachers, and decision makers. We challenge assumptions, debunk myths, and, of course, put the plant-based food to the ultimate test. So the question is, can we make this change happen? And more importantly, will you be on board? Welcome to Campus on the Menu, the 2030 Food Revolution. But before we can understand what this shift means for students, let's take a step back. What does 80% plant-based actually look like? How much of our current food system needs to change? And is that even possible? To find out, we spoke with Nora, a student who's been researching the numbers behind this transformation. Hello Nora, so what have you been researching?
So I've been researching the current state of the catering on campus and their state towards the Planetary Health Diet, and also keep track of their progress.
So how did you research this?
So we obtained some data from the sports cafe and we analyzed their menu, and we also analyzed the menu weighted to their sales, and we calculated the plant-based percentage they are selling, and also the plant-based percentage of the menu. And also there are like different calories in the Planetary Health Diet, and we analyzed the menu and divided them into these calories.
Okay, so can you show us your findings then and explain them?
Okay, so we see two graphs over here. For the first one, we just analyzed the menu, so we looked at every project and divided them into one or multiple of these categories. And for the second one, we did the same, but we weighted them according to their sales. And it's really interesting because like the percentages are almost the exact same. These graphs suggest their sales really reflect the options available on campus. Now they're around 27% plant-based sales, where it should be 30% by 2025. The ultimate goal is to get to 80% by 2030. They're making a bit of improvement for the past 3 years because we have the data from the past 3 years. However, it's not that fast, and it should improve a lot faster to get by 80%. For their category distribution, they're selling like a lot of whole grains and a bit less vegetables. There are also some other differences compared to the optimal category distribution in the Planetary Health Diet.
Interesting. So what does this mean regarding the university's goal? Do you think this is still attainable?
So for the sports cafe, there's a lot of work to do. However, it should be possible. They've not been making much progress since announcing the goal from the executive board, but there's a bit of improvement. However, for the entire campus, we would need the data from more caterers to know like the actual state we're currently at.
My name is Pınar Coşkun. I'm the founder of Erasmus Food Lab. I studied also at Erasmus University a long time ago. I did sociology and politics. After graduating, I was wondering how can I do something meaningful for what I have learned, can do my passion for food and also for the society, and teach people about what it means to be sustainable in your daily life. For me, education is a part of our daily life. What we do, we bring the theory about sustainability and the practice together, and we do that through our cooking workshops. One elective together with Sergio Mugnai, biologist. He has a lot of knowledge about the biological part of our food.
And so what is your personal relationship with vegan food?
I originally come from Istanbul, Turkey. I was vegetarian before I came here. I was living in the shore of Bosphorus, a very nice place, seeing all these fishermen having this fish out of the water where they cannot breathe. It had a lot of impact on me. That was the start of my journey to become fully plant-based, because in this Turkish culture there is a lot of kebabs and meats and everything, and also these religious activities, a lot of offering from an animal. Decided, okay, we can also do something religious without hurting another animal. In 10 years or something, then I managed to make vegan food, also from my cultural background, tasty and authentic enough without animal products.
What about affordability and plant-based food?
Cheap and healthy. Yeah, that is possible. This combination is possible if you know how to cook. Yeah? So if you don't know how to cook and you have to get all these ingredients which are in the recipe one by one, and you use maybe the half of it and you don't know what to do with the other half of it, it becomes very expensive. It is a question of practice. If you want to feed yourself, then you have to choose also the best that you can get. And this best you can get is normally seasonal, not very far away, is local. Emphasis also is organic, because they taste the best. So if you have all these experiences and all this knowledge in yourself, and you go ahead and you cook it for example, for 2 days, 3 days, with one recipe that you learned, that will help a lot for making your food affordable. So it is all about making yourself ready for this journey of making tasty and affordable food. It's not about know what is cheap. When it comes to clothes or whatever, we always go for quality. So cheap is not always a good choice.
I'm personally not vegan, so I don't eat much vegan food.
I'm vegetarian, pescatarian.
No, I eat pretty much anything.
I'm none of them.
Okay.
I really like meat.
I'm vegetarian, so eat a lot of that kind of tofu and veggies and all that kind of stuff.
Really
Thank
good.
you. Very generous.
It's not too salty, but it's not dull.
Did you like quiche?
Yeah.
So good.
Pretty good. I just prefer it if it was a bit more sweet.
I don't really like nuts. I like the chocolate.
Okay, yeah.
Most of the times there's a lot of deep fried stuff as the main dishes, so more healthy options, I think.
I remember they had this vegan deal. The food was always really good.
Okay.
And it was also cheap.
For me, it's not a problem.
Only celery salads. It's the most healthy one. It's also a bit pricey.
After hearing the different opinions of students, we still needed more information. To learn more about our food, health, and sustainability of the plant-based diet, we met Sergio, a food scientist and professor here at university. So, hello Sergio, welcome. Could you present yourself briefly, please?
Yes, sure. Good afternoon to you, Carla. My name is Sergio. I am a senior lecturer, so assistant professor at University College, Erasmus University College in Rotterdam. The main course is called Food and Nutrition, where I want to explore together with the students some aspects related to sustainability of food, from our health, so our body, to the planet, and also social aspects like malnutrition, for instance.
Yes, very interesting. So can the plant-based diet be completely healthy and nutritionally complete?
We can say definitely yes, it's very healthy, but there are some aspects that must be considered, and so we need to plan plant-based diet carefully in order to avoid some deficiencies.
Could you give us short explanations about how to get the necessary proteins, vitamins, everything we need in a plant-based diet?
Yes, sure. So a protein is simply a chain of amino acids. Amino acids are the building block of proteins, and we have 20 amino acids. They can be found in food. 8 of them are called essential. The only plant-based sources with complete proteins with all the essential amino acids are soybean and quinoa. So apart from them, we need to consider how we can integrate different sources of proteins. For instance, just eating legumes and rice together. Another important aspect when we want to plan a plant-based diet is related to vitamin B12. We need to take supplements of vitamin B12 or, for instance, use nutritional yeast.
And what about omegas then?
Yes, omega-3 are essential. We cannot find in plant sources except from algae. This is the reason why most of the source of omega-3 is fish, because they feed on algae. There are some plant-based sources like flax seeds, for instance, a very important one. So I always tell my students, use flaxseed, for instance, in your breakfast. 1 tablespoon a day is enough to get enough omega-3. Another important aspect of a plant-based diet is iron. The plant-based sources of food have iron, but it's called non-heme iron. And this non-heme iron is not very absorbable by our gut.
And so are there any other myths and concerns about the plant-based diet that you'd like to address here?
Another concern could be the massive use of soybean. Soybean is good. I told you before that it's a source of complete proteins, but the problem is that it has some components called isoflavonoids that are similar to estrogen molecules in our body. So they can lead also to hormonal dysregulation in our body if consumed in excess, but it's not almost never the case.
And so what about the ultra-processed meat alternatives that you mentioned?
That's a good question. They are a good way in order to promote veganism or plant-based diet, but there's still research ongoing regarding the health aspects. I would say the main concern is too much salt inside these alternatives, salt that makes not really healthy. We can use these products, of course, but in moderation.
So do you have any recommendations for people that would want to give veganism a try?
I always tell again my students, you don't need to make this choice in one go, in one step. Day by day or week by week. Just removing meat will make a big difference. For our health, because meat, red meat is considered probably carcinogenic, and processed meat is carcinogenic. So it's been declared by the EARC, so the International Agency for Research on Cancer, that processed meat like ham, salami is carcinogenic.
So how can the plant-based diet be more sustainable than a meat diet, for example?
There is no discussion about that for a lot of reasons. For instance, land use is massive because we need to feed cows and cattle in order to let them grow, because the so-called conversion ratio between food and meat is very inefficient. Greenhouse gas emission is also very high. Consider methane emissions because of cattle burping, for instance, or because of manure. There are problems with water use because 50% of the water used in agriculture is because livestock. And agriculture already uses 70% of all the water resources on planet. So all in all, if we want to make a move to a greener world, the first thing to do is to change our diet.
Yeah. Well, thank you for this interview.
You're very welcome.
To really understand what the workshops are all about, we decided to try one for ourselves. Every Wednesday, the Sustainability Hub hosts a cooking session in the campus food lab, open to students and staff with tickets available on their website. It's a welcoming space where people come together to cook, learn, and share a meal. The experience was fun and genuinely rewarding. We sat down to a delicious, healthy dinner and left feeling more connected, not just to our food, but to the people around us. It's a simple but powerful way to make a nutritious meal more accessible and build a stronger campus community. And so, the journey towards a more sustainable food future at Erasmus University is still unfolding. The University Board is exploring the possibilities, but nothing is finalized. Will this vision extend to the food plaza and other independent campus restaurants? And more importantly, how will this transformation take root? Right now, the path is still being shaped, and that means there's still time to influence it. Do you want food on campus that's healthier, more diverse, and better for the planet? Your voice matters. Share your thoughts in the poll on our website, Erasmus Food Lab, because change starts with a question, and the answer starts with you.